Hi everybody, it's me. RPG tip for Game Masters. Players will always do the unexpected. They just will. No matter how much you prep for it, they will always do something that will surprise you. So how do you deal with that? Get comfortable making calls. Whatever system you're using. It doesn't have to be this dice. It can be any whatever. Understand your game that you're playing sufficiently to know what sort of calls you can make. Okay. Without grabbing a rule book. Note down your calls. Move on. Keep the game moving. Keep the game moving. Keep the game moving. It sounds simple. It's a little bit harder than it is because, everybody, you want to make sure you yourself are following the rules, obviously. But it's just the reality of the situation. Do not show that you're unsure. This is actually coming from actual referee advice. Like, I actually referee things. Your call is your call. Be sure about it. Be confident about it, even if inside you're not. And move on. If the players want to, on page 180 of the player's handbook, it says, say, I made my call. That's the way it's going to be. I will look at that after the game. This game session is over, and then we will discuss that. Otherwise, every little thing that happens in that game, you're setting precedent for precedents. I can't speak English. I don't even know why I try. Anyway, you're setting yourself up for every little thing to be argued. And I mean minute. You are encouraging, enabling, and possibly creating a rules lawyer. The book says. The problem is, I got a bunch of books behind me and they contradict, even for the same edition. So, be confident. Learn to bluff if you have to, but be confident. By being confident, you can always go back and go, next game, we're going to use this rule. Next session. But not during the game. Keep the game moving. There's a lot of mechanics more than role-playing, but if you don't do this, you're not going to be role-playing. You're going to be, other than playing lawyers, defense, and you're going to be playing law school versus fighting it out on the spaceship, solving a mystery on planet Earth, being a spy, being a wizard. None of that stuff's happening if you guys are arguing about rules. So I'm not saying that you're not fallible. I'm not saying that the player shouldn't have input, but there's a right time for that and a wrong time for that when it comes to rules. That's what I'm saying. So, when you judge in a sport, all right, generally the way it goes down is you make your call. You do not reverse it. Like, I judge combat, real combat sport. Referee. We also do the forms. If you show any kind of lack of confidence and firmness on your end, you will have crazy parents in your face. I guarantee it. Crazy adult parents in your face. All right. Completely losing it because they thought you were unsure about something. That takes away from the experience for everybody. The little kid, the other parents, the other kids. Definitely not a fun time for you. And of course, the parent is upset. The upset parent created a whole situation by being unsure. So you're going to make mistakes, especially when you're learning a game. You're going to make mistakes even been playing for a long time. It's going to happen. All right. You're just like in combat sports. We've got 3 referees trying to see everything that's going on between 2 people. It looks easy to the people in the audience. It actually is really hard. That's why we have 3 referees. That way we can confirm points. That way we can confirm fouls. Dirty hits. That way we can bring something to a quick call. Like maybe one ref sees something that's super dangerous and we can stop the match, pause that match to take care of the dangerous situation that the other 2 didn't see. So nobody has to go to the hospital. So that's an example. Like I said, we also do forms because this is martial arts. And they get out there and they do a set pattern. Or he'll still do that set pattern with speed and sharpness and the right tempo and all that stuff. And to people who are like combat, this seems kind of silly, but it isn't. There's reason for that. I'm not going to get into that. And so you got people competing against each other. All right. And we have to pick who's the best is. And again, you think that would be easy. It's not. Sometimes both people make a lot of mistakes. Or both people are so good. You're trying to find a mistake. It can be hard. It can come down to little tiny things. But if you, like, instead of doing this person wins, right? That's what you think. You think they did it the best. And then opening your eyes, right? So it's very clear you didn't look at the other 2 judges. All right? But if people see this instead, the person over here who you didn't point to, their family, their friends, that individual might think you changed, you were actually going to choose them, even though your arm's over here, that you were going to do this instead, and you changed your mind because the other judges were pointing that way. So don't create those situations in a role-playing game, just like you don't want to create them in an actual sporting event. And that's just a couple examples of things. Don't allow that scenario to start at your table. I'm telling you, it's a living nightmare. Been there. You have to learn how to control the players who always wants to win, who always thinks everything's unfair. You're going to have them at some point in your gaming career. The friend you thought was sane is going to completely lose their mind when they're role playing a game because they think it's like Monopoly and they think they're going to win. So they're trying any way to do that, all right? Including argue with you. So don't give them those openings if you can avoid it. It does take practice, but you can get there. Be confident. Be confident. Like this. This. See the difference? And, we're playing a game, role playing, we're looking at stuff. We tend to slouch a little bit, so we tend to give off the wrong body language. All right? So think about your body language. Think about how you're talking to everybody. You don't have to be a jerk, but you do want to be firm when it comes down to judgments the players may not like. All right? And players, cut your GM some slack. Stop yourself from being a rule lawyer in the moment. If you have a question, write it down. And then when the session's over, say, hey, Bob, Laura, I had a question. Okay? About the ruling. What was up with that? So that's how you should handle it. Remember, it's a game. It's a game. It's a game. You're supposed to be having fun. Keep in mind that all our definitions of fun are different, but it's a game. Okay? All right. Everybody have a great day. Bye.